Alright everybody, welcome back. This is a SBD day I just finished up. Here's my last warm-up for deadlift at 475 pounds. It did move kind of difficult, so going into this 500 for 3 reps, I wasn't sure if this would truly be like RPE 7. First rep was a little heavy, but I was a little misgrooved and kind of rocked back and forth. The second rep I did here, that was pretty decent. And I started to get more comfortable kind of with the weight. And then going into the third rep, I absolutely smoked it. Here it is. Just a little tough off the ground, but the speed was great, and honestly that was around RPE 7-ish. Backing down, I did a 3x4 at 430. These went really easy off the ground. Obviously you see no problem, and I was doing these with a hard reset, so basically every time I'd reset back into my position, take a big deep breath and reset the plates and then go again. The reason why I like to do this is because when you have the plates that are not the circle plates, they have a lot of edges to them. I think they have 8 edges, so they're the octagon plates. I don't know if that's true, but you have to really reset quite a bit, so that's why I do a hard reset. Going into the bench, I did a 4x8 at 245 pounds. This was a pretty heavy set for a 4x8, I will say. 245 isn't a small weight by any means, but it was feeling really good this day. As you can see, good bar path there. I had my middle finger on the ring for this set, so pretty wide stance with not much arch at all and no leg drive. And a pretty narrow leg stance too. So you can see a very light pause, I would say, but still not just like dropping the weight on myself, trying to maintain control the whole time. This is the second set of I think this is actually the last of the 4x8. I had to move the camera, but here you can see kind of a different angle of the elbow depth and just kind of a different angle overall. These were starting to feel pretty heavy towards the end. This is the 4th set actually, so things were heavy and really had to stay focused. The last rep, I really felt a lot of lactic acid in my pectoral muscles, and it was burning, so that's a good sign. I just absolutely hit it right where I should be for the RPE. So going into squat, I will say this was the hardest part of the workout. So this is, I did squat third, which usually you don't do that for powerlifting. Obviously we go squat, bench, deadlift, but I did deadlift, bench, then squat, so I did it out of order. But the 335 for 4x8 after doing the squat or doing the bench and deadlift was really hard. This is the first set here, as you can see, with 335. Pretty good depth and control. It's moving well, which is nice. My belt was sort of pinching me, so I actually reset my belt, and then I also load my camera a little bit so we can see the depth just a bit better, so you guys can get a better idea of how low I'm actually squatting. I was actually really pleased after watching this video on how my depth looked. So as we can see, the legs are looking pretty big there, but yeah, we're going low. I mean, that's below parallel, so that would pass in powerlifting, and that's how I want to be training. So yeah, I believe this is the second set of 4. The other 2 sets, I put my headphones on and had to blast music to get through them just because I was feeling really run down at this point, and I had already been at the gym for about an hour and 50, maybe an hour and a half. So yeah, I may have miscounted there, not sure. But anyways, moving on, I did some T-bar rows, worked the back muscles. I don't know if these are actually T-bar rows or something kind of close to them, but I really love these. These hit the triceps and the lats pretty well. So for a power lifter, obviously this is sort of a multi-purpose movement. In terms of bench, this is hitting the triceps, and I have a very tricep dominant bench. And then for deadlift, this is working those lats in the back. So multi-purpose here. Sort of after I started hitting this movement, I have noticed some really good gains in my deadlift and bench, so I'd recommend putting that in your program. As you guys can see there, starting to look a lot more like a power lifter, especially in the quad area, quad and leg and glutes. Have very disproportionate legs to part of my body, so Like, I have big triceps, but I don't have biceps, which is a sign of being a powerlifter. And then the delts are pretty small, but pretty happy with how I'm looking. Weight's about 101 kilograms. This morning it was 218, but I weighed in afterwards. I was about 222 pounds for this workout. And as you can see, I did drop the weight down on T-bar rows, so it's important for SBD days, especially, really not to kill yourself on accessories because you're going to be very fatigued. And the last exercise I did for the day were a 3x12 on lunges with, actually went 45s on each hand, which was, you know, it was pretty light, but after all that work, it felt really hard. So, I mean, obviously we know the body knows either hard, like difficult and easy, and it will adapt accordingly. It doesn't know if I'm holding 45s. It doesn't know how many reps I'm doing. So if it's hard, which this was, you're gonna get a lot of benefit from that. And you know, it doesn't matter as much. Today was a lot higher rep than usual. Doing sets of 8 for everything, basically, except deadlift. And then for my accessories, I did sets of 12, which I always do. But yeah, overall, pretty good day. I'll see you guys later.